Hello everyone, welcome back to Edible Abundance Homestead. Today is June 24th. Working harder on doing some quick little videos every day. We'll see if I can keep it up. So as you can see here, I got my fence put up. I weeded, especially this area right here by this garlic. I weeded heavily. It was pretty overgrown. The garlic area is pretty overgrown. As I was weeding, I found beets to harvest. So I picked the biggest ones. I had planted them in between the rows of garlic because I felt like my garlic was planted too far apart. So I figured I'd sneak a row of beets in there. And I kind of thought they weren't doing well because it was so weedy. And I found several baseball to softball sized beets. So they're inside. I think we'll try to do beet chips with them. I'll see how tough they are because they were kind of big, so we'll see how they are. Excuse me. So I got this weeded and I got the fence put up, and I didn't get a whole lot else done. I have ground cherry babies that need to be planted. That's them down there. That's what I'm gonna do out here right now. I need to hoe between my rows of corn here. Hopefully I'll get that done. There's other weeding that needs to be done, but that's what I'm going to focus on for right now. I only have about an hour. We're going to go to a library event again. Our local library actually has this awesome little garden next to it called the Children's Learning Garden that was put in by this volunteer organization in town that's gardening focused. And through the summer, they have a special story time out there once a week. And then that's Mondays. Today's a Monday. On Fridays, they have a special event out there every week. Last week we missed it. It was the Farmer McGregor puppet show. That's a spin on Peter Rabbit. It's about, eating your vegetables and that sort of thing. It's really cute. I want to say this week is the Beekeepers Association. So we definitely want to go to that if we can make it on Friday. But yeah, we try to get to the story time just because it's gardening and that's my thing. And so after the story time, they take you into the garden and you can pick what's ready to take home. Each kid gets to pick a little baggie of whatever's ready. We also earlier in the spring went to an event there and helped plant some of it. So it's a really great little thing. I really like it a lot. So anyway, maybe if you are interested in suggesting something for your area, it's right next to the library and it's wonderful. Anyway, if I have time, I have tomatoes that need to be tied up. I really need to spray some of my aspirin spray on my tomatoes. It's been a couple weeks and there's just tons and tons of weeding to do. So I'm going to get to it. Oh, one thing, my cucamelons finally sprouted. 2 of them did. Of course, 2 in the same pot did. I think I planted 6 to 9 seeds, and then I added 3 more because they weren't sprouting, and I had read that they were slow to sprout. Well, finally, yesterday, 2 seeds in the same pot sprouted. I have 3 pots right now. I only need 2 plants, so that's great, but I have this feeling that now they're all going to sprout, and I'm once again going to end up with all these little baby plants that I don't want to compost or throw away, but I don't have room for, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and get some work done, and I will check in with you later. Okay, so it's the next day. So I got the ground cherry, the little one, not the big one. You might not even be able to see that little one. And another little ground cherry planted. There it is next to the cauliflower. I have one left. It's the smallest one, which for some reason was significantly smaller than the others. But I have a giant broccoli plant and a giant cauliflower plant that are going to be coming out in the next week or so. So I think I'll just stick it in there, which is actually kind of a good idea. Maybe I should plan since ground cherries are so slow, maybe plan to use them to replace broccolis and cauliflowers every year. We'll see. I've harvested 2 other heads of broccoli already, and we just haven't gotten them all eaten yet. almost. There's just a little bit left, but I don't want to harvest this until we're ready to eat it. Excuse me. So I also wanted to talk a minute about what else I've been harvesting lately. So right now, the zucchini is not a flood, but it's a very steady trickle. So I'm getting a zucchini every day, every other day, something like that. I don't love zucchini. It's not my favorite. My kids don't love zucchini. But I do have a good zucchini bread recipe. So when I got a pile of zucchini on my counter, I made a double batch of a zucchini muffin recipe that we really like. It's got a lot of zucchini, like a carrot and an apple shredded into it, and then like cinnamon and nutmeg, so it's got that flavor profile. We've harvested one cucumber, and there's one more that's almost ready, and I feel like the cucumbers are a bit on the late side this year. I feel like by this time last year we were harvesting a basket of cucumbers, not just one here and there. So I don't know. I have harvested a handful of beans that we just ate right away. I still have 2 zucchini left on my counter. I don't have a ton of freezer space right now. Normally I would shred and freeze extra zucchini in portions that are the right size to make that zucchini muffin recipe later. I need to go through my freezer and see what kind of space I have, because we've picked blueberries recently. There's strawberries we picked in there. I butchered chickens not that long ago. The freezer space is kind of at a premium right now. So, but it's also not that well organized, I don't think. So maybe if I go through and organize it, I'll have some more space. I'll have to take a look. We're trying to focus on eating out of the freezer, but a lot of it's chicken, and you can only eat chicken so many days in a row. And I'm also really trying to eat vegetables fresh from the garden instead of just preserving them. So that kind of gets in the way too. You see, that's my beautiful cucumber plant climbing that trellis right there. It's getting very tall. I have to say, I've never grown up trellises like this before, except for when I've had beans or peas that grew on their own and decided to climb my fence. And the cucumbers and melons are taking quite a bit more training than I anticipated. The beans, once they got started, that's them right there, have kind of just gone nuts. But I'm definitely having to pay a decent amount of attention to the melons and the cucumbers on the arches, because I come out here and I see, a foot-long stem laying sideways instead of up on the trellis. So I'm trying to watch that. Other than that, this is pretty much it. The corn has not been weeded yet. The tomatoes most definitely need some attention. I saw a couple branches down. We went from getting cool and rainy every night to getting really hot, and it's supposed to be hot for like the next week. So I need to get my tomatoes in order, because we might have to water them at some point. So far I really haven't watered hardly anything. I think the cucumbers would benefit from some water already. The tomatoes are still looking pretty good, but I have a feeling if it's 90 every day and it's not raining at all for the next week or so, they're gonna need a drink of water. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been happening around here. I'm gonna leave it at that. I am going to go inside and get my kids some breakfast and eat some zucchini muffins. Thanks for watching.